Good evening, everyone. I'm disappointed that my opponent, Senator Carlucci, cannot make it here tonight, but I'm happy to be here with you. And tonight, I'd like to talk to you about two things. One is my vision, and two is my experience. I think that Mr. Carlucci and myself are diametrically opposed on these issues, so I'd like to bring them forth to you tonight. First of all, I'd like to correct two major deficits that are made in Albany today. One is the financial deficit, and the second is the deficit of trust. The deficit of trust that right now we have in our leadership and in our government. For me, I believe it takes three ingredients to provide a good Senate leadership in Albany today. One is your political past. Now, I'm proud to say that I worked as deputy mayor and trustee on a board in Ossining that cut taxes. They provided a strong rainy day fund. They have one of the best Moody's ratings in the county. They cut spending, and they were fiscally conservative. So my record with that board is stellar. Two, I believe in order to create jobs, you have to know how to build a business yourself. You have to be in the private sector. I run two businesses, both very successful. And one of them is a consultant to companies that can't seem to hire people in this day and age because of all of the recessions that we've been having. I recently worked with a company that admitted to me they only were able to hire 5 people this year. 5. Upon sitting down with them and putting a plan together and cutting wasteful spending, I'm proud to say that in the past 6 months, they have hired 50 consultants. My business experience helps people get jobs, and for that, I am very proud. And the third point I'd like to make on being a good senator, a leader, a mature leader, is someone who has personal stories to tell, and I'll get to that in a moment. The problem is, Mr. Carlucci has broken every promise he made in 2010 to all of his constituents. Number one, he said he would carry a bond for $80 million to help Rockland out of his debt. He didn't do it. Number two, as you all must know, as students and people here in Pace University, that the thing that drives up our taxpayers' costs are health benefits and pensions. I'm glad to see Ms. Geller sitting out here tonight because I agree with her. She voted for Tier 6, where my opponent said no to Tier 6. That's $80 billion worth of taxes saved in the next 2 years. And although it's not major, according to Mr. Carlucci, for me, it's a start, and it's a good one. Third promise he made was that he would get an independent counsel to talk about redistricting. Now, I don't know how many of you know this, but a lot of redistricting has occurred, and because of that, I'm running for the Senate in the 38th District, which is now parts of Rockland and Ossining and Briarcliff. So, for the first time in its history, Rockland has been torn in half. And he did this because he felt it would benefit him in the voting booths this year. And that's not serving the people. That's serving his own self-interest. He also admits that he didn't read a prominent bill that was about children and education, and he didn't read it, and he voted yes, where everyone in his party voted no, and then he had to run to Governor Cuomo and ask and hope that it would be vetoed, which thank God it was, because the bill should not have been passed. Ladies and gentlemen, leadership takes maturity. Leadership takes experience. And I promised you that I would talk to you about the third part of what it takes to remain strong, not have special interests whispering in your ear, to be able to be steadfast and make the right decisions for your candidates. Well, I have a personal story. 13 years ago, I was hit by a car, and I was told I may never walk again. I lost my job, I lost my income, I lost my home. I had to learn how to reinvent myself. And in 1 year, I was out of a wheelchair. And in the second year, I was walking the New York City Marathon. Now I'm running. I'm running with you and for you to bring back leadership in Albany and to correct the issues and the deficit in Rockland. And I believe that I'm the experienced candidate that can do so. I thank you for your time. I'm so happy that you invited me here tonight. And thank you, and God bless.
Let me ask you a question. Redistricting. You think the New York State should change its law, go with other states, some of the other states need the redistricting to an independent commission rather than have the state legislature?
Well, it's interesting that you should ask that question because I think that my opponent had promised that there'd be an independent consulting group looking into this matter because it's not fair to the public and to the constituents to do this type of gerrymandering in order to gain votes in the election to come.
Thank you. Anybody have questions? Okay, thank you very much.